Hello everybody, my name is Tin Dudajek and this is SEO in 2025.
And what's your number one SEO tip for 2025?
First of all, hello David. My number one SEO tip for 2025 is to get to know schema and start using schema in more organized, let's say, and more meaningful way.
Get to know schema. So are not enough SEOs using schema?
First of all, yes. I believe not many SEOs are using all advantages of schema, or not many SEOs know what are those advantages of schema. I believe in the context of today's SEO, today's world, today world where data is constantly being produced at a level that was never at this level, never that much data was produced. I believe schema has its importance, it's gaining importance because it gets to structure that data and show that data, present the data in a way that we want Google to know.
So how would you summarize the current state of schema?
That's a really interesting question. I believe it's, as you said, it's not being used properly. So it's really not being used correctly. That's current state of schema. And I believe people should start using it better. To start using it, let's say, correctly, they first need to understand and know what schema can be used for. What can we gain by adding schema to our websites? And some of that things, I believe, are not presented by Google or by anyone really clearly. So my thoughts on that is that by adding schema to our website, we can upgrade data quality. First of all, then we can maybe dictate how that data on our website is organized and how it's in the end presented. We can prevent inconsistencies and error throughout our website. Maybe schema is a sort of metadata, like meta description and meta title were used. I believe schema is being used nowadays, or it's going to be used as a sort of metadata. And of course, schema can give a lot of backside information about semantics of our data, what we mean by having certain websites, who we are, how we get to present ourselves to Google. That's my kind of thoughts about that. Yeah.
So you say that there are certain elements of schema that aren't implemented that well. What would you say are the elements that are implemented well and the elements that need to be implemented better?
What needs to be implemented better? Of course, there are certain types of schema that are used all across the web. Some plugins do it automatically. For instance, product schema on web commerce platforms, e-commerce platforms, and web stores. And there, that type of schema is being added automatically, and it's not really deep. Let's say it's really just a scratch on the surface. So we need to, as I said in the beginning, we need to get to know, to understand schema, see what are all of these elements that we can add to our schema markup, and then add that schema to our website. I believe nowadays schema is just sort of being added to the website just because Google said that it's a good thing to be added to the website. And people are doing it just so it's done. They are not understanding why should it be added and what is all of the things that they can add to their schema to Google to understand it better. So to answer your question, let's say simply, or in more simple manner, at least, we need to get to know schema to see what we can add and add those things in our schema, like deepen the quality of the data.
Is that an individual SEO's job, or can software be used to automatically add schema without a human having to see what that software is doing?
Yeah. For instance, I liked using ChatGPT to generate schemas for me, and he's doing really good job in establishing a sort of framework for your schema. He's not doing a perfect job, but he's doing a well enough job to get you started. So you can just type in, please give me, I was just using it a couple days ago, give me, for example, a company insurance group type of schema business, insurance agency schema. And he did a really good job at giving me the framework. And of course, then I decided to go on schema.org, see what else can I add, how can I connect other dots on the website. And ChatGPT is really good for that.
And is there a certain way that you need to share information with ChatGPT to ensure that it's giving you the best possible information? For instance, do you need to paste the whole web page into the contents of the web page into ChatGPT to give it context?
Yeah, of course you can go crazy. I mean, you can do whatever. But what I was doing, at least, I just asked it to give me a framework. I didn't give him the information. I didn't give him a website or the name of the brand. I just wanted to get that framework, which that I could edit later. I believe if you want to get all of that out of the way and for ChatGPT to just give you schema that you can copy and paste to your website, I believe that will be possible. That would be possible. But as I said, in that step, in getting to understand schema, I believe it's really important not just to go to ChatGPT and ask him to give you the finished formula, finished schema. I believe it's okay for him to give you the framework, and then you need to go to schema.org and see what else can you do to understand better what you are doing.
So it seems like a fairly manual process. Does this have to be done for every piece of content that you publish on your webpage, or is there only certain pages like your homepage or about page that this needs to be done for?
Of course, if you're having a giant web store, it's really difficult to add schema to all of your products. Yeah, that's sort of a thing that needs to be done automatically, of course. But what I believe it's needed to be prioritized, it's About Us page, organization page. If we just take a step back and not talk just about e-commerce platforms or web stores, I believe structured data is gaining its importance not only for web stores, but also for all sorts of brands, not just brands that have an online platform which they're using to sell their products or services, but to all kinds of brands. Because branding, I believe, is also going to be a big thing about SEO in 2025. So by adding schema on About Us pages on our homepage, whatever you decide to do, we actually are telling Google who we are, what we are doing, how information on our website is presented, and what we want Google to tell our customers about us.
Got you. So essentially what you're doing is you're educating Google what your brand is about. You're giving it more confidence. You're making it more likely that your brand is going to be featured in the knowledge graph and perhaps even picked up by AI-powered search engines.
Of course. Yeah, that's summarized perfectly, actually. And what I like to say is by adding schema, we are kind of doing marketing for Google to machines, to Google, so that Google can advertise us more clearly or better.
Okay, great. And there are many more opportunities for your brand to be advertised, because obviously you want people to discover you nowadays and not just search for something that's generic that may happen to result in your brand. Are you seeing more opportunities to SEO for example, AI overviews in Google search, and that makes it more important for you to be utilizing schema?
Yeah, that's actually the main reason why I decided to talk about schema, because I believe in April, there was this discussion. Google's CEO decided to do some kind of interview podcast. I don't recall correctly what it was, but he mentioned that schema will be used more and more with that AI overviews. So yeah, I believe using schema will not only gain importance because of all the things that I said already, but it will be used by AI, by Gemini, to present information more clearly and to gather that information from your website.
How valuable, in your opinion, is it for your brand to appear in these AI overviews? Because you're not necessarily going to get increased click-throughs, are you?
I believe it's not that important because, as we've seen, as many SEOs, many colleagues did their case studies, if you have featured snippet or some kind of rich result, it's not really doing a lot for your click-through rate. So I wouldn't prioritize that. And for me, it's not that important to appear in that AI overview.
So for you, the rest of the SERP is more important?
Yeah. I still believe it will be more important than AI overview. Because, I don't know, I just feel that if we are kind of given the information, that people will not respond like Google think people will respond with AI overviews. That's left to be seen, let's say, but I still believe that there will be a lot more value, let's say, in the remaining of the SERP. Yeah.
Okay, so you like to have a fairly manual process in the insertion of schema, particularly on the About page. Do you have any tools that you use to actually track your brand success to see that your brand is optimized for the SERP?
I don't have any specific tools. I just use Google Search Console. I really don't know what can be used. Maybe there are some tools that I've heard of, but I haven't tried actually. Because once when I was doing my test with schema, I usually decided to do it like only that thing and to measure its success.
So what specifically are you looking for inside Google Search Console?
I try to see what keywords are getting people to certain pages by adding schema. Has that number increased? Has that number decreased? Has my brand visibility got bigger? Did people start to search my brand in all sorts of fashion, like not just my brand name, but my brand name plus this plus my brand? So other types of things. And it's really important if you're doing just a service, for example, SEO, have people start using your, let's say, main keyword with your brand. For instance, my company is called Canonical. So to see if people started using Canonical SEO services, Canonical or something like that.
If an SEO is struggling for time, what should they stop doing right now so they can spend more time doing what you suggest in 2025?
Yeah, maybe stop adding alt text to images, for instance.
Oh, should you have that anyway, but just do it automatically?
I love doing it, and I always do it it's sort of a habit. But if you're struggling for time, of course, that's a really manual task that you could do or can do, but I believe it's not gonna get you far. So yeah, maybe stop adding alt text to images. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but if you're struggling for time, maybe that's not the thing you should prioritize, or maybe worrying about Core Web Vitals, for instance.
Is it not important for accessibility though?
It is. I believe it has certain importance, but if you're struggling for time, once again, I believe that's not the thing that will get you very far.
Tin Dudajek is founder of the Canonical SEO agency, and you can find him over at canonical.hr. Tin, thanks so much for being part of SEO in 2025.
Thank you very much for having me, David.
I've been your host, David Bain. Get your copy of SEO in 2025, the book, over at SEOin2025.com.